There's a time when golf meets art, when you watch these top golfers just playing with the golf ball, really. And it all looks so very, very easy what they're doing. But you know it's very, very difficult. And the question is why? How are they able to do this? And I think watching Tiger just chipping a couple of balls forward with one hand is just so irritating sometimes. You think, well, how in the world is he doing? But you can learn a lot by watching them just simply doing these simple things. Because art and golf come together in the moment that you let this club swing. If the golf club wasn't made out of this stiff shaft, rather a kind of a soft, rubbery, flexible shaft, which allowed the head to flap around, you'd be far more likely to let it swing and to wait for it than you are with this really hard, rigid shaft that we have. Well, the feeling is you've got to work with all of your force to actually move the thing through the air. But I think this is the problem. And when you look at Tiger, when he's making these little shots just with one hand, he's letting the club release. There's no pushing the shaft forward, trying to get lean on it. On the contrary, he's just lifting it up and dropping it down, allowing the club to find the bottom of its arc by itself, and then intuitively just accelerating it through the golf ball. And it's really a good idea to play around with a golf club and really get a feeling, whether it be just one-handed or two-handed, for how the golf club, if you lift it and drop it, will actually find its own way back to the ball, and your body will actually start to help you to accelerate it through the ball. Again, as we've said in the last few episodes or the last few videos that I've done, it's all about accelerating the golf club rather than trying to accelerate your arms and hands and your shoulders and all of this. And in order to get the golf club to accelerate correctly, it's about letting it drop out of the sky and then pulling on the handle and allowing the club head to release down to the bottom of the ball. And the only way that this is going to happen is if you're allowing your wrists to move correctly, lifting and rotating the club onto plane, and then just letting it drop out of the sky and using your body to give it that little bit of an extra zip at the bottom of its arc. And that is really the art of golf. The ability not only to do this, but to time this. And that's why they're on the driving range every day, trying to get their body to do that completely intuitively. Even those last two shots, the difference was the first one, I was trying to do it. The second one, I just let it happen. And I was able to let it happen because I'd found in the practice swing this kind of feeling for when the golf club's going to come down. This feeling for when I can actually accelerate. This feeling for my body pulling away from the ball and the club head racing back down through the ball. And that's what it's all about. So the motto of this video is give the club a chance. Get out there and let it swing. Get a feeling for what it's like for the club to move around your wrist joint, to pick it up and drop it down, to let it find the bottom of its arc, and then how your body automatically will actually make room for it, will learn to pull on the grip end and accelerate the club through the ball, and how then the golf club seems to just automatically find the bottom of its arc and the golf ball, in the case of an iron, just before that. And that's when you get these beautiful, crisp little impacts. And that's all that Tiger's really doing, is intuitively learning to time the way that the golf club finds the bottom of its own arc without having to kind of steer it back onto the ball, getting it up onto plane and letting it more or less drop out of the sky, only really accelerating it at the bottom of its arc through the ball. As a child, we play with golf balls and golf clubs all day long. We're always moving and swinging the thing. As an adult, we're trying to manipulate it, to steer it, to control it. We're not letting the club swing. And the moment that you stop that, it's impossible for your unconscious mind to feel where the club head is relative to the ground, and therefore as good as making a golf swing blind. If you can get a feeling again for the club head and how the club head moves around the shaft, and the shaft around the wrists, and the wrists around the body, then you're actually going to start to get a feeling for where the head is in the swing, and you're not going to have to think about hitting a golf ball. You're just going to be able to think about accelerating the golf club to the target. If you liked it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so far. A big thank you as ever to all my patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, I'll leave a link below. We'll see you very shortly with the next one.